Welcome back. It is Friday, May 26th, and the MLB. Our three favorite picks are on the way. I'm Austin, joined by Logan, and today joined by a special guest, long overdue. Get it out. The Brooms are here. A 3-0 sweep, a much-needed sweep that we got yesterday. Now, it started off early on the day. Spencer Steer clutched up in the bottom of the ninth. Then we had the no one for Sidney Cash, and the Athletics came through for our 1.5 unit play. I know Logan got chirped a lot for taking the A's, but the A's relatively, you had to sweat in the bottom of the eighth, but they get it done. We certainly will take it. Let's hope to turn this into a hot streak, get this momentum going. Now, if we do have a sign-up offer, it is on Friday. We'll talk about it. It is on BetMGM, and they're giving risk-free bets out up to $1,000, and they're giving out bonus bets every single Wednesday and Saturday. So if you have a BetMGM account, you're probably already getting those risk-free bets, but if you don't have one, sign up using the top link in the description. Now, right next to that top link in the description is our parlay of the day. Now, Logan is going to come on screen. Let's talk about this parlay of the day. Now, look, the parlays have been pretty cold. Yesterday was a weird one. We had a guy get injured in his first at-bat. We had a guy not even start, and then Andrew Vaughn didn't get a hit, so it didn't matter at the end of the day. But today is 3 NRFIs, and last week we did 3 NRFIs, and it cashed. We're giving away all the winnings if it cashes today. I'll tweet out how to enter at 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. But, Logan, I don't know if you can beat your Athletics call yesterday, but what you got for the people today?
Yeah, this one isn't a 1.5 unit play, but you know what? To everybody that took Mariners minus 1.5 or said I was crazy for picking the A's, trust the process. Just do it. Don't chirp me all the time. All right, but for this one, I'm going to a total. I'm going to the White Sox versus Tigers game, and I'm taking the under 8.5 total runs in this one. Plus 100 odds on Caesars is currently your best value. Now, if the line does jump to 9, obviously, yes, I do like the under 9 as well. But you know what? I'm going to take the 8.5 for plus value. If this one ends on 9 on the dot and everyone else, pushes, whatever. Yes, I know rooting for an under isn't fun. These two starting pitchers ERA, you're looking at paper. Logan, combined 14 ERA between these two. Yet the line opened at 8.5. At the end of the day, these are two offenses that I can get behind for an under. If the Tigers want to score 7 runs again and beat me that way, I'll live with it. Because at the end of the day, I think they're definitely due some regression offensively. But who's starting for the Tigers today? It's Joey Wentz. 7.45 ERA, 1.63 whip. Those numbers, not good at all for Mr. Wentz. So am I confident that he can turn it around today? A little bit, yes. The ERA at home drops slightly to 6.65. I know the difference between a 7 and a 6 ERA isn't much, but at least I know he's a little bit more comfortable pitching at home. And we know the White Sox, hit lefties well. But there aren't crushing lefties like the narrative always says. In the past few years, it's always White Sox hit lefties well. White Sox hit lefties well. Well, the White Sox are only hitting 251 against lefties this year, 247 against lefties on the road. That isn't exactly crushing it to me. Crushing it would be if they were hitting like 290 or 300, and then I definitely would not take an under in this one. But if you look at Wentz in his last start, he didn't even make it 3 innings in his last start. If he faces trouble today, which is definitely possible, I trust the Tigers bullpen to be able to come and rescue him. Tigers bullpen, sneaky good this year. Tigers bullpen, 8th in bullpen ERA. No matter what Wentz does, if he gives us 4 or 5 solid innings pitched, I do think the Tigers bullpen can come in and hold it down, hold down the White Sox offense. Who's starting for the White Sox today? It's Lance Lynn. 6.28 ERA, 1.47 whip. Yes, those numbers aren't the best for Lance Lynn at all, but he's finally been turning it around. You look at his last 2 starts, 7 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 6 innings pitched, 2 earned runs. Those are 2 quality starts for Lance Lynn, and I think he's actually in line for another one today. Coming off a 7-run performance last night, I expect regression from this Tigers offense. Just simply how it is. Detroit 23rd in average, 28th in OPS at home this season. So you can kind of see an offense like the Tigers can overachieve some games where they score 7. They're also liable to score 2 or 3 runs, and that's definitely something Lance Lynn, being a savvy pitcher that he is, can hold them down. White Sox 29th in bullpen ERA. Yes, does worry me late game at that bullpen, but I'm optimistic Lynn can give us a really solid 6 innings pitched or close to it. And I feel really good about this under, so I'm going to go ahead and take the under between the White Sox and Tigers as my pick today. But Austin, got another player prop for us. What are you going with?
Yeah, we're switching up it a little bit, but I got player props coming your guys' way. Everyone should be able to tail this one. I'm not going to try to do a ton of hits, runs, and RBIs props, but I know everyone can tail this one, whether you're in a legal betting state or in a non-legal betting state. There are apps out there that will offer this one. Now, I'm going to Aaron Judge and Lane Thomas, each to record a hit. It is currently a 2-leg hit parlay, plus 100 on DraftKings. You see me in my all-rise shirt. He's going to clutch up for us today. Now, for these 2 guys, they're not in the same game. And why I prioritize doing 2 guys that are not in the same game is because if you are on DraftKings, if these one, let's say Judge doesn't start today, they're going to void the leg. Let's say Lane Thomas doesn't start, they're going to void the leg. Why I always say bet these on DraftKings or other books instead of FanDuel is because let's say, and there's a world where Judge doesn't play, he comes in, pinch hits at the end, maybe they walk him. Well, you're going to see FanDuel probably is going to grade that as a loss, whereas DraftKings is going to give you your money back. So I really caution people to not bet a lot of player props on FanDuel unless that's your only book and you don't feel like getting another one. But just going to put it out there. I've seen it happen way too many times. I've lost my own money on FanDuel taking these player props, seeing a guy not play, then get a pinch hit, and then lose there. So I'm just putting it out there. Now, I did consider both these two guys for over in hits, runs, and RBIs, but they were a tad juice. But let's talk about why I like both these guys. Each hit a hit. Now, we're going to talk about Judge first. He is coming off 2 straight hitless games. He did not have a hit in the last 2. Now, he did have 4 walks combined. One of those games was that game against the Orioles that walked him 3 times. The next one was again against the Orioles when they walked him once. Now, obviously, there's always a concern with Judge getting walked here. I mean, obviously, he's one of the most dangerous hitters in the league. There's teams that are going to just want to pitch around him. But I consider a team like the Baltimore Orioles a divisional rival. Well, number one, they kind of have seen Judge a ton of times. They kind of know what the pitches that he doesn't love to see. And number two, they're a divisional rival. They're not going to let Judge kind of beat them. But I think a team like the Padres and Joe Musgrove coming in here, I think they're willing to throw to him, and I think that's pretty good for us. I think Judge can get us a hit, and heck, if he wants to hit a homer, we'll take that. Now, you look at Musgrove, allowed a 287 batting average this season, allowing 400 to bet right-handed batters. Is that bad? Well, it's not good. He hasn't been too great. Judge hitting 314 versus righties compared to only 179 versus lefties. So, look, he's placing a righty. I'll take my chances that Judge can get at least a hit. He had a hit in 9 straight games prior to the last 2-game skid. I think he gets a hit at home today. I'll take Judge to at least get us one. Now, if you've never heard of Lane Thomas, well, allow me to introduce him to you. He's plays for the Nationals, and he's been pretty good for him this year. I mean, you look at Lane Thomas batting 293 on the season. He's on a 10-game hitting streak, hitting 366 during that time, and he's going to bat leadoff for this team. Now, the Nats are on the road in Kansas City, taking on the Royals. And look, you like to have a guy that's batting leadoff against a guy like Jordan Lyles, who's probably going to give up some hits and runs and walks and everything in between. So wouldn't be surprised if we see, Lyles, his hits allowed prop sitting at 6.5, one of the highest I've seen. Got his guy on the other side of the mound, Patrick Corbin, sitting at 6.5 as well. So look, Thomas, 5 plate appearances in 11 games this season, has a hit in all 11. When he sees 4 more plate appearances, has a hit in 26 of 33 such games. So I think he gets up to the plate 4, probably 5 times, considering he's batting leadoff. We're just taking our chances that a very good hitter gets a hit, continues to hit his hit streak. I think both these two guys are in line for at least one hit. We're not asking, for them to set the world on fire, hit home runs, but would be pretty electric if they both hit a homer. But I'm just thinking they both at least get one hit. It could be a single. I don't care how they get it done. Give me Aaron Judge, Lane Thomas, both in completely separate games, both to just record one hit. You can take it on Sleeper. Sleeper should have the ability to do it. If you don't have a Sleeper account, you can use our code COS to get a 100% deposit match over there, also linked down below. But Logan, I reckon you know what time it is. It's Nerfy Nation time. Get out the flag, the music's going, we're flying these flags. We had a pretty sweat-free one yesterday. Let's try to do it again today. Now, I'll have Logan talk about one that we consider as a line read. Today, we're going to one that makes us feel comfortable. And this might be the last time we ever take a plus money Nerfy. And hopefully this one hits, because it's Marlins and Angels taking the no-run first inning, currently plus 105 on Bet365. Now, this is the best value you can get across the books. This probably will end around minus 115 if I were to guess. So getting plus 105 early on in the day on Bet365, pretty good. But let's talk about Reed Detmers, who's going to start for the Angels. Now, he is 6-2 on no-run first innings. The Marlins 28th in first inning runs. Now, I have talked about before, I don't normally like to take lefties against the Marlins, but it still is the Marlins offense at the end of the day. So you're still banking on him. Come out here and get the first 3 outs. We're also talking about a team coming from the Marlins, coming off that Coors Field series. Maybe the offense is a little bit slow to get going here in this first game. So I'm confident if we're going to lose and the Marlins are the one that's scoring, I can tip my cap to him. But I think he can get us those first 3 outs. And I heard you like the other guy, Logan.
I love Jesus Luzardo, right? Especially in the no-run first inning portion. Luzardo 9-1 on no-run first innings this year. He's been really solid. He's been a really good option for us. Sandy Nerfies, Luzardo Nerfies. They've been our go-tos this year, and we've had success on them. Now, he does face the Angels top half of the order. Angels 6th in first inning runs. Ohtani, Trout. We know there's a lot of talent up in this top half of the lineup. Luzardo is a really good, strikeout specialist, though, and that's why he is so good in the first inning, no-run first inning portion, because it's hard to see him first time through the order. So I do like his chances to hopefully get us those last 3 outs. Over/under set to 8.5, right in the range that pretty much all these no-run first innings are picked in nowadays. But I do think we stand a really good chance at cashing this one. Look, Austin and I waffled a few times on this one because we're like, it feels a little bit trappy. Yes, it does feel a little bit trappy. It is a plus value Nerfy. We haven't hit a single one of those all year. But this is the ultimatum. If we can hit this one, it would be great. If not, then whatever. Plus value nerfies aren't meant to be. The other one we considered was the line read nerfie, which is in the Royals game. That's a nasty, really nasty nerfie between Corbin and Lyles. But at the end of the day, the yes run first inning is only minus 120. So you look at that and you tell me that really matches up with the caliber pitcher. It doesn't. It doesn't really. It's always 2 bad pitchers equals nerfie, 2 aces equals yes run first inning. It's so counterintuitive. I've seen it a million times. But we're going to go with this one because we do like this one more. I think it's a safer play, and hopefully we can cash this. Fly those flags again, Nerfy Nation.
Yeah, let's fly the flags. And you know what? If you don't like just Nerfy, like I said, we have a parlay of the day. Top link in the description with a couple other Nerfies that we're riding with. And if the Nerfy parlay cashes, we're giving away $540. You can check out how to enter on my Twitter @CallinOurShot. Go check it out. You might be able to win a bunch of money. But either way, let's go 3-0. Let's bring out the brooms once again. And let's have a great day. We'll see you guys back in same time, same place, Saturday morning. I'll see you then. Peace.